sometimes you get an idea, and it doesn't matter how silly the idea is or how much it doesn't make a lot of sense on paper. Sometimes you just get this thing in your head and you can't get it out. I've played music for so many people. I've been behind so many singers and so many guitar players and seen so many crowds that were there to see someone else. And one lunchtime, Nelson Beatty and myself decided that we were finally going to put a band together. And it wasn't supposed to be a ton of people. We just wrote the list and we made some calls.
I was in a group, not a group at all, it was just me playing an acoustic guitar. It was called Hospitals, and I wanted to play with a horn player, and I ended up running into a guy named Nelson Beatty, and that led me to a place called the Mansion House, where a band called the Morantz Project would play every Friday, and that's where I met Dano.
And Jacob and I met at the Mansion House, where I once paid his band with a box of Old English 40s, which is better than I pay our band now.
It was around that time that those two were discussing the potential of starting something like My Son the Hurricane, and I was lucky to get my name thrown in the circle there.
And it was not supposed to last a long time. It certainly was never supposed to make any money. And, you know, it didn't for a long period of time, but I think somewhere along the way it started making sense for me, and it started making sense for everyone in the band. This is something special, and it's worth doing.
July 20th, we're headed out to Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. Day one of the long stretch of tour.
18 days.
18 days. How fresh are you feeling, Sips?
I still like everybody.
Yeah,
I've got no problem with anyone.
I
don't like you.
An absolute pleasure to work for Dano. He's a dear friend of mine. We've had an opportunity to grow quite substantially together musically and otherwise. But Dano needs to take control of this band from time to time.
Also, if you are wearing your thing, put it down for the show.
The idea of doing everything was not my plan. It's just that I think I started to realize that I think the nice way of putting it is type A, but I think the way most people would put it is a giant control freak. And I just, you know, some people, that's how they work their ambition.
He's the engine, you know. I mean, both literally and figuratively. I mean, literally he's the drummer, so he literally drives the band. But this is his baby.
Two double doubles.
Dano truly takes care of business, and he's so good at it. And oh my God, I'm so thankful for that, because hey, here's a piece of news. That's not something I'm especially great at or have been. It's not something that I'm especially great at.
Cream cheese. Regular cream cheese. Regular, please.
In the early days, we didn't write out notes on our set lists, so Jacob would just be going off the cuff, which seemed really like a good idea at first, but it would mostly be, it turned into me counting in songs through Jacob's stand-up comedy act.
And it's a perfect recipe. You don't have to mind your energy. It's not like you need to save your energy at all, because here at Coley Office, they sell liquor.
We really need to keep the package tight, and I'm lucky enough because Dano and Sylvie have started writing me these, like on my set list. I get a special set list that has like speaking points and things like that, just so that I don't miss anything. Because sometimes I tend to just kind of talk about whatever.
Because this is an experience that we're experiencing right now. And why not do it all together? You know what I'm saying? If you haven't checked it out, do. It's on our Facebook.
I saw the band a long, long time ago, like near the beginnings of the band. And immediately I was just taken aback by Jacob. I just thought, that's the best front person I've ever seen. I was so excited about the band, loved it, kept following the band, and then they were coming to my town, and I was friends with some of the people in the band, so I was going to go to the show. And Nelson, who used to be in the band, who actually was one of the people that started it, he asked if I wanted to get up and sing a song. And I said, hell yeah, I do. And so I just went home and learned all the songs, like all of the singing lines in the songs. And I was like, I hope they'll let me just sing them all. And they said yes. So I sang all the songs. And the next morning I went out for breakfast with the band. And I think it was Sippus who asked, are you coming to play with us tonight? And I said, I don't know. And kind of looked over at Dano and he was like, well, I guess, do you want to? He sounded kind of reluctant about it. And I was like, yeah. So that was it. I just went on the road and I think I played every gig after that.
I think she's the one who says this, that she basically invited herself into the band. But I think that was the piece. I think that's the piece that people needed. And, you know, it was kind of like a wheel that was working, but there was that piece missing from making it run perfectly smooth. And there it is now.
When Sylvie joined this group, it was a breath of fresh air for everybody. I guess that, you know, there was a lot of reason, and I felt like a lot of people were like, oh man, oh my God, another front person in the band. How do you feel about that? And honestly, it's great. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't need to sell you on Sylvie. Sylvie kicks ass. That's clear. And on the other side of it too, it just gives me an opportunity to breathe air from time to time. Especially our earlier material. Our choruses were choruses and stuff like that, but they were rap choruses, so I would be delivering through these choruses and going hard as nails. And then rapping 16 bars. And then doing that chorus again and rapping 16 bars, and you know, it's good. I really enjoy doing it. These days, Sylvie steps in there and does an even better job than I could, so how do I feel? Fucking fantastic about it.
It's nice. It's nice. It's a good fucking time. It's a whoa, buddy. Whoa,
It's amazing that if you think of where everyone's from and their backgrounds, that we all got together and that we all get to do this thing on stage. Sometimes I have the best view on stage. I get to look around and see everyone and see the crowd, and it's amazing.
It's actually really great because you kind of have a whole bunch of different people to hang out with and talk to, and you don't really get sick of anyone because there's so many different people to be around, and they're all such unique personalities that it's just so much fun.
Yeah, there's definitely a spectrum, right? You know, of easygoing people to high-strung people. I know where I fit on that spectrum. But that's one of the things I like. I like the personalities, right? And everyone is so exceptionally different, and even just the ages from at the beginning of this tour, Kaylin, who was 17, all the way to Fraser, who's very, very old.
Scissors challengers, announce yourselves. To my left.
Fucking Fraser Gauthier.
Where are you from, Fraser?
Fucking Clarksburg, Ontario.
Fraser and I have actually toured the world together with a bunch of different acts, and there's a certain bond between rhythm section guys, and you either get it or you don't. We have a running commentary on stage because nobody else can hear us, and if they ever could, no one would ever show up again.
1, 2, 3, present! What is that? What is that?
Being in a car for X number of hours, whether it's only an hour, whether it's 4 hours or 14 hours or whatever, there's a bit of a bond that happens when you're on the road, and that's it's a pretty cool thing. It's tough to describe. It's tough to put into words, but generally, what keeps me coming back to Hurricane shows and what keeps me kind of bugging down or to put me on these shows is it's just fun.
You should tell her we had a Waka Flocka good time.
Vocal warm-ups! 2017 is gonna be a great year. But how? 2016 was such a great year for My Son the Hurricane. We got to play with Tom Green. We got to play with Fred Penner. How are you gonna do it, you're probably asking? Well, we figured it out. Tearaways!
As a human being, you look for those things that can those hooks that you can throw out there to connect to people, and I think that that's one of those common denominators that we all share. We all love tearaways, don't we? As human beings, it's like, hey, what's up? My name's Jacob. I love tearaways. This is the kind of stuff we don't even have to say because it's assumed.
I love Jacob's tearaways. They are the funniest thing I've ever seen, and it makes me laugh every time he tears them away.
I thought the tearaways weren't getting their day in the sun, and so I thought that I'd bring them to the stage. And at first it was really easy. You could pick up a pair of tearaways. It was really quite easy. But toward the end of the tour, and I don't think that this was my influence, it's very difficult to find tearaways these days. That's what I'm saying.
So here we are, we're on day two of our Cross Canada tour with My Son the Hurricane. Sault Ste. Marie, this show's been sold out for months. We're super stoked. Sips, nice shirt, man.
Thanks.
Shirt, man. Nice
Thanks,
shirt.
guys.
Yeah, it's a really nice shirt.
This shirt, I don't know. I just gotta go do something with the shirt.
What would you say the primary color on that shirt is?
I don't want to get into it, you know, I just...
Why not? What's up? What's the deal with that shirt? I don't get it. Are you hiding behind that bike, Sips?
No, I wasn't. I was just, I don't know.
What's up, man? Why are you so nervous about the shirt? Yo, Sips!
I really love Chris Sippis.
I like the shirt. I don't know.
You look like you're feeling a little.
I feel like a bee comb in this shirt, but I kind of like that. Bees are in this year.
Oh, you mean a honeycomb?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I just made this pedal board for My Son the Hurricane. It's pretty simple, but I got a tube screamer here, I got a synth pedal that Abe gave me, which is super nice of him. Got the MXR Phase 90, I got a Crybaby here, and I got a Poly tune.
If this footage is anything like what I think it's going to be like, he's going to be getting his balls busted the whole time.
Go easy on your pedal.
Amazing guitar player, really genuine guy.
Sips has a lot of different sides to him. He is something agon, one of those agons that's rarely said. Not a hexagon, that's not enough agons. He has so many different sides to him. Sips is just one of those sides. Reggie is another side. And Slippers, who we've seen more recently. I can't wait to see who's next. Great to have Sips in the band.
That anecdote? Can you give me that anecdote about your headbanging real quick?
Oh yeah.
I noticed you weren't headbanging last night.
I know. Every time I move, I'd be like, ow, ow, because I threw it out in the Sioux. That was worth it. That was cool.
Yo, Time Snake, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah? How you feeling on a scale of 1 to 5?
6.5.
How about a scale of 1 to 3?
4.5.
How about a scale of 1 to 1.5?
2.5.
Some of the guys were going into a store and Dano said they had to be back in so many minutes. No, I don't know. I can't tell it right. I have no idea.
Blake's last name is Blake, because his first name is Justin. We never call him Justin because there's only one.
You know, he likes to take life one step, one time snake step at a time.
He's kind of like the Eeyore of Hurricane. He's very quiet, he doesn't say much, he comes across a little melancholy, but I love that guy. There's something about him.
After 2 sold-out shows, one of which was in Sault Ste. Marie, and then surprise sold-out show in Thunder Bay. Coop, how was that?
Thunder Bay was really righteous. Kind of unsuspecting, but at the same time, you never know when you're gonna go to a place that has the word thunder in it. It just might rumble.
Cooper Hannison, the super duper party pooper, Cooper Hannison. One day he told me that in confidence, almost like a little red in the face, embarrassed. And so I try to make a point to say it as much as I can. The super duper party pooper, Cooper Hannison. He's awesome.
Cooper gives great hugs. Does everyone know this about Cooper? You have to hug Cooper. He gives great hugs.
You may look at him and he's like, oh, there's the goofy, tall kid, and, you know, who, like, jumps into the crowd and, like, you know, runs around on stage with the tambourine and does all this crazy stuff, but he's, you know, he's serious about his craft.
Probably no one gets such a hard time from me like Coop. Probably because he's kind of like my apprentice and kind of like my little brother. And he's grown up, and so we fight a lot on stage. It's great.
I have nothing to say for myself.
I've played on maybe 2 shows on my whole time with the Hurricane Band without Dano. And whenever Dano's not there, Coop is on the kit, and Coop knows everything inside and out. Like, Coop does his homework.
Yo, Vic, where are we right now?
We're in Manitoba!
Wow.
Vic is an inspiration to me. She is also like my woman partner in this band because, well, as I'm sure you can see, there's a lot of guys in this band, so it's nice to have another woman around, and a really special woman at that.
For the first few months, Vic hardly ever said a word to me. And she's got a great sense of humor and has a huge stage presence. And I think that people are very intrigued by her. And yeah, I really like her sense of humor.
You gonna do something super cool? You gonna play naked tonight or something?
I don't think so.
Oh, I know Sylvie and Vic are looking forward to it.
Oh yeah!
So we're trying to find these 2 crullers we bought from Robin's Donuts. Search the car, can't find them. Until Jacob stands up, and glued to his ass are these 2 poor crullers.
What started off as something that was supposed to be delicious turned into something so sad. It says have a good day on there.
Flat out here. We are in Verdun, which is about 20 kilometers, I believe, from Saskatchewan. And you know, driving across the prairies is very exciting. They'll tell you all about it. So we stayed Mice on the Hurricane here. We have Justin, Jacob, and Dano. I'm Cooper. We stayed at the Super 8. We are missing our Lucky Pierre middle seat friend Chris Sippis, guitar player extraordinaire right now. And the thing you have to understand about Saskatchewan is we can actually see him escaping from us. Excuse me, old man, are you lost?
Did you forget what hotel we stayed at?
That was Super 8.
My Son the Hurricane is in the Rockies! Pick it up!
Cooper's not up.
Papa Shango.
Get up, Papa Shango. Hit your magic ball. It's time to go.
A lot of times, you know, BC can be rainy, all that type of stuff, but we caught it at that right spot where it was just blue skies, you know, super nice weather.
Caitlin, where are we right now?
We are in Sycamoose,
Ooh.
BC. Interior BC is beautiful.
Yeah? Should we get a good look? Let's see here. Well, the parking lot of Bahama John's maybe isn't the best place to be filming such a thing. What else do we got going on here? Papa Shango's running some buns. How was your bun?
I'm working on it.
Oh, you haven't run it yet?
No.
Okay, cool. What's going on with Time Snake over here? Do you mind showing us?
Time Snake? Where's Time Snake?
You guys want to go?
Yeah.
I gotta change my underwear.
Let's see it. Woo! Let's see that Time Snake shake.
You know, one of the challenges of booking a band our size is that the weekends are not so bad. Festivals are into Hurricane. And whenever you get something like a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it gets interesting.
Well, we just braved the storm, drove our asses through what could have been a gigantic fire here in British Columbia, and we are now here at Bahama John's. Get a look at this fucking place!
I've gotten ready in some very obscured places on this tour. We've gotten ready in the car and in the dark and kind of helping each other make sure our makeup looks all right. And yeah, it was definitely an adventure getting ready for every gig. It was different every time.
But there's something about playing in a lighting store now. I think we'd like to do it again.
What day of tour is this so far?
I have no idea.
Yeah, what day of the week is it?
I don't know.
What time is it?
7?
What's your middle name?
Justin Williams is just outstanding at his instrument, a super cool dude to hang out with. And this year we got a chance to really get to know Justin Williams. I love that guy.
Dano hit me up with like 6 dates. He was like, "Yep, you know, you sound good to me. You drive well with the band. Here are the charts. First show is Burnstown near Ottawa. Have all these songs memorized by then. Peace." And I was like, "Okay, shit," and that was it.
Justin hit Alex's car with a baseball. And Alex played it cool. But I bet you inside he was freaking the hell out.
Alex and Justin are the boners.
No one really talks about how much work Alex does for the group. He's always kind of writing things, writing little licks, doing horn arrangements, writing full-on songs, just doing anything he can.
Alex's car got hit by a baseball. And I bet he was freaking out.
He has very fine taste. Sometimes the two of us go out for dinner together on tour and we eat real food, not the crap that everyone else goes and eats where they all shit themselves after.
A lot of people think that we're brothers because I guess we do kind of look similar. And I think we're both a little bit high-strung. And Alex and I have a similar remedy when things are going wrong. Go to bed, wake up a new man. Don't hit our cars with baseball.
All right, My Son the Hurricane, we are 9 days into our cross-Canada tour. We are in Smithers, British Columbia right now, getting ready to head up to the Kispiox Music Festival. Things are going all right. We played in a hardware store. We just had a delicious Mexican breakfast. And we're about to turn up the volume. Last night we played a show where we had two microphones, but one PA. It was a bit of a challenge, but we made that shit work. Tonight we're gonna do the total opposite. Do you want to see a bunch of dead bugs?
I was not expecting it to be like this. Like, of course you want the best. You think it's gonna be great, of course, but you never think it's gonna be like that. You never think that you're gonna, for your first time, you're gonna be 4 provinces away from home. And you're gonna be playing to thousands of people. Nothing really gets you ready for that.
We worked so hard on our show, perfecting, well, I don't know if perfect is the right idea, but just making the show the most energy it could have and like connecting all of the band members and translating that to the audience. Just by the end of the tour, we had gotten so good at that, and I think the reaction from the audience kind of proved that.
I was expecting good-sized crowds, but I didn't think it would be as big as they were and as enthusiastic as they were.
The future's bright. That's it. There's not much else that has to be said. That I think sometimes when things get good, they feel like they can relax, and I feel the exact opposite. I want to step on the gas further. So I want to get more legroom.
Okay, so let me set the stage here. It's noon, and we're in the middle of a field in New Brunswick, and it's pissing rain out. Now, last night after our show, and it was an awesome show at Polyfest, we stuck around, we watched 5 Alarm Funk, it was great. Now, the young guys in the band thought that maybe they should spend the night. The old guys knew when it's about to piss rain, it's a stupid idea. Now, here the old guys are, waiting, like moms, trying to find their kids, and trying to figure out what kind of shape Sippus, like the time snake, we're gonna be in.
Folly Fest, eh? Well, see you later.
So one of the weird things to talk about is how that somebody has to be the boss.
All right, gentlemen.
And you know, we always joke that I'm the big fat road manager, and I like that, and it's all good. But at the end of the day, someone needs to take care of the business things.
So that car is on a fucking mission to get to the venue. And so, you know, like when you go to the washroom is determined on the strongest bladder, not the weakest.
We're on the road. There's a show tomorrow, there's a show the next day, and then we got to be up early the next day, and we got to keep going. And it's just, you might think before the show, oh, I feel great tonight, the crowd looks good, and you get out there and the energy is great. And then when the show is done, you might want to go out to party, but at the same time, you're done, you're wiped. So you end up just kind of doing the responsible thing anyways.
Yeah, get in there. All right, I'm gonna count down from 3. And then we're gonna take the nastiest ass picture taken in Windsor tonight. All right, are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go! That was perfect, thank you guys. Now let's get back to this shit.
I'm not that old, but I'm getting older. I'm starting to really it's not so much that I'm taking care of myself, it's that I'm realizing that not taking care of myself is a real bad idea. It's been a long time since I had Taco Bell, and I guess that was kind of the general consensus for the entire band. So when we roll up, we realize there's this Taco Bell across the street from where we're staying. So yeah, we're going to Taco Bell. And you know what? Fuck it in a bucket. We going hard too.
There was, I guess you could say, a perfect storm in your belly.
That's right, I threw up all over the side of the Dominion House Windsor tonight.
If you're at a certain age and you require vegetables to have bowel movements, then you have to get the Supreme. So I got the Supreme. And it turns out that I didn't need vegetables at all.
It's my own fault. Heat exhaustion, I assume. If not, then maybe just general dehydration or just exhaustion. Either or, it happened. And here I am, alive and well. Still.
Tomato juice will save your life.
Here we go.
Is this thing on?
Philip Sklodowski. I remember when he first joined the band, I had such a hard time remembering his last name. But now I remember it really well. Philip Sklodowski. Man, that guy's great.
Phil's a great teacher. He has lots of knowledge about lots of different things.
He plays saxophone in the band, but he does play the ooey. It was the first time I had a chance to see this ooey. And ooey, is it sweet.
You guys have seen somebody pump their fist before, right? Yeah, you guys, you know what I'm talking about. Right here, just like this. Yeah. Here we go, here we go. So we're gonna do that, and you guys are gonna know exactly when that time is, because Kaylin's gonna hit that line. Kaylin, can you hit that line real quick?
I think Kaylin was 15, maybe? 15 the first time he played with Hurricane. And I've been sneaking him into shows ever since.
The things that he does, the things that he can do on the horn are ridiculous. And the fact that he's a teenager is crazy.
I think that Kalen is a special old soul, and I really, really love him, and I think that he's going to do wonderful things with his life. He's here just to play that trumpet. That's why Kalen Murphy is on planet Earth.
You meet Kaylin Murphy on the street, you would be like, oh, super quiet dude, what do you do? And he might not even tell you that he plays trumpet, but if you hang out with him for just a moment more than that, you'll find out, because that dude breathes trumpet in and breathes it out into his trumpet. So well, he plays that instrument so well.
And when Pat came, you know, they're thick as thieves. And Patrick is... I don't know what to say about Pat.
Patrick is one of those young guys that reminds me what it's like to be young again. He's so good at his instrument. What's great about Patrick too is if you meet him, you wouldn't think that he'd be the kind of guy that would grab his horn with that Patrick finesse and then just grind on it.
I think the secret to the Patrick solo is really just forgetting about the rest of the world and just only thinking about...
That's Patrick. Patrick surprises me every time I meet him. Every single time. My dad started saying that he wanted to come on the road with us a long time ago, and I never brought it up. But it just so happened that the team was expanding at that time, and there was an open seat. I will say that it wasn't until I learned that information that I brought it up to Dan. He ended up being super fun and super helpful. I'm a dad now too, so I'm really into hanging out with my dad.
Yo, we just finished playing a show at Neat Cafe in Burnstown. Stop talking to what? Pack. Are you actually playing that on me right now, Pat? Making patty cakes over here. He's doing shit all. Then he sees me doing shit something, and he's like, yo, why aren't you doing that shit something that I'm doing this very moment?
Isn't Burnstown awesome? I'm pretty sure it ends right after that street and it starts just before that street. It's a very small town. I like it though. Now we get to walk over to the owner of this fine establishment's house and we're gonna sleep. Kinda.
Get out of here.
Eventually. And I'm not gonna puke over everything. I owe you.
I owe you. You don't owe me, Jack. It's all good. Let's feel the love. Hey, Bill's not fucking here to drag you down.
There we go. We're making one line.
What did we say?
Cacistocracy.
Cacistocracy!
Yeah!
Woo! Got that Burnstown morning feeling.
You of all people, of course, are watching this.
Oh yeah, there's that. Got it.
Nice little 9-point turn.
Nicely done.
Oh shit, yeah. Move your coffee. How many points was that?
It was about 5.5. He's getting better.
That's better, yeah.
New Brunswick, baby. The gift that keeps giving. I found a glove. So here we are, 2 minutes off the well-beaten path, checking out Magnetic Hill. Yeah, you've heard a lot about it. We're checking it out.
But yeah, that is a magnet for sure.
One fucking Magnetic Hill, baby! Woo!
Foot off the brake, foot off the brake. Yeah.
Roll.
Hey.
Halifax was a real feather in our cap because we'd never been there before. We'd never been to Nova Scotia before. And we're playing this room and it's crazy. From note one, Jacob and Sylvia are owning them. The people are singing the songs back to us. There's so many people, it's great. And about midway through the set, I look over and I see Alex staggering off the stage.
Every single one of us is in panic mode, everyone who noticed, and we're basically trying to get him off the stage, and Chris's guitar ended up in his eye, and he's bleeding all over.
And during Kaylin's solo, I remember yelling to Jacob, can you go see if Alex is alive?
He's off for a few songs, and all of a sudden he comes back on with a big cut on his eye and tough as nails.
He's probably got the biggest injury we ever had on stage. And he manned it up, came back, I think played the last couple songs, bloody eye and all. It's great. I'm so scared.
Pretty sure it was around 2:30 in the morning when we got to the place we were supposed to stay. And we decided that we weren't gonna stay there.
So when we get here, there's no lights. I was warned there was no lights. And then I'm walking around the back because I have to go to the back door, and I tripped on something, and this is not bullshit, it was a black cat. I'm like, it's a bad sign, man. It's time just to drive the fuck home.
So we decided to drive all the way home, all the way back from Halifax after our show.
Good luck on this mission, hey?
Yeah, if you don't hear from us, just come back and scoop up our memory cards off the floor and use them for the documentary.
Okay. So we'll report you missing.
Watch this shit.
Yeah. Cut it more. Make it turn more. No, the other way. Yep. You got it.
You got it. It was all smiles at first, but didn't take long till...
Feeling good.
Yeah.
Hour one.
We can do this. We just kind of lost our minds.
Volkert Bergsma and Jacob Bergsma staying here in a house in Halifax tonight. You think it's haunted? I think we made the right choice. I wasn't looking forward to driving.
It's hour two. Feeling good, and you know why?
Nope. Nope. Not going in there.
Still in Nova Scotia.
We are?
Yeah,
That's really cool. Oh, got a crown on top. We almost got kinged.
Fredericton.
The hell is that shit?
Then we crashed.
I'm not joking, it's getting emotional up here. We did more shows this year than we've done in our entire career combined. In My Son the Hurricane. And this is in fact our last show of the year.
At the last show, Jacob and I had a moment backstage. Everyone else was still on the stage, and we just looked at each other and was like, wow, like we just did that. We're blessed. This is amazing. I can't believe we got to do that.
After this tour season, I can say that, yeah, we achieved something that we've never achieved before.
You know, when I was a kid and I saw bar bands on stage, I thought they were rock stars. I remember going to see the first bar band I ever saw on stage, and they were playing a Smash Mouth song, and I thought they were rock stars. And it's funny because we always downplay it. But there are kids at shows, and we are signing shirts, and we are giving out drumsticks, and we're giving high fives.
to look out into the first couple rows and seeing everybody sing along with Sylvie. It's not like we're playing a cover. To have people have that same reaction to a song that's an original is a crazy feeling.
We're just going as hard as we can while we're on stage and giving every bit of ourselves to the performance, and people seeing that and loving it and being inspired by us is such a rewarding feeling.
The band connects with the audience in a way that I don't see a lot of bands doing, and we love that part of it. Where, you know, it's real to us. Like, we love to connect. All of us do, and we do collectively and we do individually. You know, we love that joy that, you know, the fans, we're giving to them, they're giving to us. It's a circle, and it's just beautiful. Like, that's amazing.
I'm mad. It's over. It's over.
You're steaming mad.
I'm steaming mad. Look at this.